There's a wonderful story in the life of Lahiri Mahasaya about one of his disciples. And this man, he wasn't a disciple at the time. He was a bricklayer, an employee in a bricklaying business. He lived in Bengal. And he worked very hard, very diligently. He didn't make a lot of money. He could barely provide for his family, his wife, his children. But he was a very generous man. And so whenever he felt that others had needs, regardless of the fact that he may or may not be able to provide for his family, if he helped them, he would help them anyway. It was just who he was. And one day he was sitting by the Ganges, which was near to his place of work. And he closed his eyes and sat there as he did daily in the little break of time that he had. And he felt that there was something very incomplete in his life. He didn't know what it was, but it was a powerful feeling, a very powerful feeling. It made him anxious. There was something that he desperately yearned for, but didn't know what to do with that yearning, to fulfill that yearning. And all of a sudden, he got up, and in that state, somewhat anxious, he just started walking. And he kept walking, and he walked through the town, he walked through the village, he walked through the country. Finally, he came to the outskirts of the big city of Kolkata, and he, by and by, found himself at the Howrah railway station, huge metropolitan railway station. And he went up to the ticket window and he said, "I need a ticket." And the man said, "Where do you want to go?" And he said, "This is the money I have. I need a ticket." And he said, "Have you ever been to Kashi?" Which was the name then for Varanasi. Maybe it's moved back to that name now. And he said no. And the ticket man, sensing his anxiety, said, "You go there. You have just enough money to get there, and the Lord, Vishwanath, will help you." And so the man gets on the train, and it's a very long journey by train, and it takes days, and he's tired, he's hungry, he has no food, nothing with him. He's dusty, dirty, and he arrives at Kashi, and he has heard that there is a section of the town where Bengalis live. He's from Bengal in India. And so he seeks out that part of the town, and he's wandering down narrow streets, and again, just tired, but guided to where he knows not. And all of a sudden, this man steps out of the doorway onto the little lane, and he says, come here, and calls him to come. And the man comes in, and he doesn't know him, but his host now welcomes him and says, "I will give you something to eat, you'll be able to bathe and rest a while, and then we will talk." And so the man does so. And when he wakes up, rested, he's been fed, he comes out to, again, meet his host, and his host introduces himself as Lahiri Mahasaya and initiates him into Kriya on that meeting.